Hello friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I'm an ordained minister. And we're in Bible study. We're in the NIF, and we are in Numbers. So we're still in the Torah at this point. We're in Numbers, chapter 34. And we're going to do verses 1 through 29. That's when the heading here is called the Boundaries of Canaan. The Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites and say to them, when you enter Canaan, the land that will be allotted to you as an inheritance will have these boundaries." So, okay, here's where your land is. Your southern side will include some of the desert of Zin along the border of Edom. On the east, your southern boundary will start from the end of the Salt Sea. A footnote of sea. Oh, that is the Dead Sea. Okay, that makes sense. The mountains of salt next to it. Across south of Scorpion Pass. That sounds like I don't want to go there place. In Hebrew, that's Akra Abim. Akrabbim. Akra Abim. They can keep Scorpion Pass to themselves. We get those out here, and I'm a no thank you to them out here in Arizona too. They can stay where they are. Like no harm, no foul. Just stay where you are, and I'll stay over here. I promise. I won't come to where you are. I don't go hang out. Never hang out under palm trees after dark. Scorpions will drop, and then you need a black light to see them. Okay. Any dreams that you had about falling asleep under a palm tree on the beach just went away, because the idea of nighttime scorpions dropping on you in your sleep is now a nightmare. Right. Cross south of Scorpions Pass, continue on to Zin, and go south to Kadesh Barnea. Kadesh, Kadesh, and Barnea, Barnea. Then it will go to Hazar, Hazar, Adar, Addar, and over to Azmon, Azmon, where we'll turn and join the Wadi, that's a river, Wadi of Egypt, because that's what the Wadi, I do believe that's what that's called, Wadi, and end at the sea. Say E, I'm assuming that means that's the Sea of Galilee. Okay, makes sense to me. Your western boundary, well, because you can imagine on a map, they're going like this, right? For your western boundary, you will be the coast of the Great Sea. This is your boundary on the west. Okay, on your northern boundary, run a line from the Great Sea to Mount Hor, and from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath. Lebo, Lebo, which has got a footnote at F, where the entrance to. Okay, Hamath. Lebo is the entrance to, apparently, Hamath. That is a helicopter outside, flying around. They do that upon occasion. We have an Air Force base over here, and we have an airport. So, although the Air Force base is pretty far away from here, it seems to be an overhead pass, because they would be going from west to east. So California area out that way, I would imagine. Then the boundary will go to Zedad, Zedad, continue to Zipharon, Siphron, and end at Hazar Enan, Hazar, and then Enan. This will be your boundary to the north. For your eastern boundary, run a line from Hazar Enan to Shechem. The boundary will go down from Shechem to Riblah, Shechem, Shepham, and Riblah, Rablah. On the east side of the Ain, Ain, and continue along the slopes east of the Sea of Kinnereth, Kinnereth, what's got a footnote of J, Well, that is Galilee. Okay, so we're coming around. Then the boundary will go down along the Jordan and end at the Salt Sea, because it does have to eventually take a bend to come back together. Moses commanded the Israelites, assign this land by lot as an inheritance. The Lord has ordered that it be given to the 9.5 tribes, because the families of the tribe of Reuben and the tribe of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. These 2.5 tribes have received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan of Jericho. Jordan of Jericho, possibly an ancient term for the Jordan River, towards the sunrise. The Lord said to Moses, these are the names of the men who are to assign the land for you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. And appoint one leader from each tribe to help assign the land, and these are their names. Caleb, son of Jephunneh, Jephunneh, from the tribe of Judah. Shemuel, son of Ammihud, Ammihud, Shemuel, Shemuel. Elidad, Elidad, son of Kislon, Kislon, from the tribe of Benjamin. Buki, Bukki, son of Jogli, Jogli, the leader of the tribe of Dan. Haniel, son of Ipad, Haniel, Hanniel, son of Ipad, Ephod. It's kind of interesting, because I thought those were the things on the, From the leader of the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Kemuel, Kemuel, son of Shiphathan, Shiphathan, the leader from the tribe of Ephraim, the son of Joseph. Elzaphan, Elizaphan, son of Parnach, Parnach, the leader of the tribe of Zebulun. Paltiel, Paltiel, son of Azan, the leader of the tribe of Issachar. Ahihud, Ahihud, son of Shomli, Shelomi, the leader of the tribe of Asher. Pedahel, Pedahel, son of Ammihud, Ammihud, the leader of the tribe of Naphtali. These are the men the Lord commanded to assign the inheritance to the Israelites in the tribe in the land of Canaan. So now they know who is going to be telling who within their land where they're allowed to live based upon their own tribe. Well, they decide as an overall to cast lots for the land they inherit. Until the next video, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the Niv. We're in the book of Numbers. We're in chapter 35, which takes us to verse 34. Okay. So, towns for the Levites. Because in the previous video, we talked about all the rest of the tribes of Israel except the Levites. On the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from the Jericho, again, the Hebrew Jordan of Jericho, ancient and possibly an ancient name for the Jordan River. The Lord said to Moses, command the Israelites to give the Levites towns to live in from the inheritance the Israelites will possess. Give them pasture lands around the towns. Then they will have towns to live in and pasture lands for their cattle, flock, and all the other livestock. Now, there's multiple reasons for this. Because one, God said, set up manslaughter safety zones in those towns so you could run to there, which we'll get to in the next thing. But also, it would mean that if you were a person who was, practicing this religion, once everything is all broken up, you're going to need Levites in your area, in your overall area where all your people live, to be able to do the burnt sacrifices, to be able to sanctify things, to be able to check for all this stuff. I mean, excuse me, they can't, it's too far to travel to get something checked out like that. You're going to need people around them. So, of course, they're going to need Levites in their town in order to be able to, serve as the religious leaders in their area without making them go very far. The pasture lands around the towns that you give the Levites will extend out 1,500 feet from the town wall. Hebrew, that's about 1,000 cubits or 450 meters. Outside the town, measure 3,000 feet. Okay. B, that is about 2,000 cubits or 900 meters. On the east side, 3,000 on the south side, 3,000 on the west side, and 3,000 on the north, with the town in the center. They will have this area as pasture land for the towns. Because if they're going to be doing all these burnt offerings, they're going to have sheep and goats and bulls and, whatever. So, and then that means they have to have a place to feed those animals. And remember, they're existing in service to the rest of the community. They don't get to do other things to earn money or any of the rest of that. Cities of refuge. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone may flee. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, you must give the Levites 48 towns, together with their pasture lands. The towns that you give the Levites from the land of the Israelites possess are to be given in proportion to the inheritance of each tribe. Take many towns from a tribe that has many, but few from one that has few. So you only need so many religious officiants per person capita kind of thing. Then the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into Canaan, select some towns to be your cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone accidentally may flee. They will be places of refuge from the avenger, so that the person accused of murder may not die before he stands trial before the assembly. Okay, so they have rules of conduct around them. Right? These 6 towns will be your cities of refuge. So that everybody knows that's where they're supposed to go. Give 3 on this side of the Jordan, and 3 in Canaan as city of refuge. These 6 towns will be places of refuge for the Israelites, aliens, and any other peoples living among them. So you can't exclude people from it. So that anyone who has killed another accidentally can flee from there. If a man strikes someone with an iron object so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a stone in his hand that could kill, and he strikes someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. So he's like, yeah, and we learned from Cain and Abel too. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a wooden object in his hand that could kill, and he hits someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death, when he meets him, he shall be put to death. If anyone with malice afterthought, shoves another or throws something at him intentionally so that he dies, or in hostility he hits him with a fist so that he dies, that person shall be put to death. He is a murderer. This is very, very specific. But, you know, this definition of murderer still kind of stands today, unless you got self-defense going on. And they're not leaving room for self-defense. They're talking about, you know, rage. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. But if without hostility someone suddenly shoves another or throws something at him unintentionally, or without seeing him, drops a stone on him that could kill him, and he dies, then since he was not his enemy and did not intend him harm, the assembly must judge between him and the avenger of blood according to these regulations. So the very specific set of rules. If whatever that was going on happened and it was truly unintentional, it's not murder. It might be manslaughter, but it's not murder, which, again, is still a kind of, you know, nuanced difference that we have in our laws in America here to still today. It's not really, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so you should get more specific nuances from them, but that's generally my understanding between the two charges. The assembly must protect the one accused of murder from the avenger of blood and send him back to the city of refuge to which he fled. He must stay there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil. So they have to go to the refuge city and they can't really leave. But if the accused ever goes outside the limits of the city of the refuge to which he has fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the city, the avenger of blood may kill the accused without being guilty of murder. Ooh. Okay. I don't necessarily know that I agree with that, but that was the rule. The accused must stay in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest may he return to his own property. These are to be legal requirements for you throughout the generations to come wherever you live. Anyone who kills a person is to be put to death as a murderer only on the testimony of witnesses. But no one is to be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Okay? Do not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who deserves to die. He must surely be put to death. Do not accept a ransom for anyone who has fled to a city of refuge, and so allow him to go back and live in his own land before the death of the high priest. Okay? Do not pollute the land where you are. Ooh, I like that. Because, you know, I'm always up to let's pick up the trash and all that kind of. Do not pollute the land where you are. Bloodshed pollutes the land. An atonement cannot be made for the land on which blood has been shed. Okay, so now, because you remember, this goes back. He knew that there, you know, that murder happened between Cain and Abel because blood was soaking into the ground. He, God on high, knew because he said, your brother, why is your brother's blood on the ground? Like, what have you done? Bloodshed pollutes the land, and atonement cannot be made for the land on which blood has been shed, except by the blood of the one who shed it. Do not defile the land where you live in, and where I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the Israelites. Okay, so it can only be the one who has committed murder and having their blood on the land to make an atonement for the bloodshed that polluted the land. So falsely accusing people of murder would not do that. And I can only imagine. But then, I don't really run around accusing people of murder. Thank goodness I'm not in any situations where I would have to be around any murder situations. I mean, I know I watch a lot of those shows, but I'm just glad that those never become my reality, because I would not want that. Until the next video, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Bible Study Video 2. We are still in the NIF. Yes, we're in a different location than normal. We have people working out there for us. So we're out of their way while they do their work that we are blessed to be able to employ, so that we don't have to try to manage anything like this on our own. We are in the book of Luke. We are in chapter 4. We're doing the rest of chapter 4, verses 31, to be specific, through, I do believe it's 44. Yes, 44. So let's jump in. Jesus drives out evil spirits. Verse 31. Then he went down to Capernaum, a town in Galilee, on the Sabbath began to teach the people. They were amazed at his teaching because his message had authority. He spoke like one who knows, like who was confident in what he was saying. Right? And that's important. In the synagogue, there was a man possessed by a demon, an evil or unclean, because it's the Greek that's for unclean. Spirit. He cried out at the top of his voice, "Ha! What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." "Be quiet," Jesus said sternly. "Come out of him." Then the demon threw the man down before them all and came out without injuring him. All the people were amazed and said to each other, "What is this teaching? With authority and power, he gives orders to evil spirits and they come out." The news about him spread to the surrounding area, because that would have been big news, because during this time frame in history, demons were apparently just roaming around possessing people wantonly at any given moment, and they didn't have any way to stop them. Jesus heals many. Verse 38, Jesus left the synagogue and went to the home of Simon. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering with a high fever. This is Simon Peter. Okay. Cephas, or I think that's what it is in Greek, or Caiaphas, or something like that in Greek. But Peter, the rock. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked Jesus to help her. So he bent over and rebuked the fever, and it left her. She got up once and began to wait on them. When the sun was setting, the people brought to Jesus all who had various kinds of sickness, and laying his hands on each one, he healed them. Moreover, demons came out of many people, shouting, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak, because they knew he was the Christ. And he wasn't ready for everybody to be talking like that, because that's a good way in that culture to die, because that's what will happen. Blasphemy is the reason to die. You die for the words that you say. And in the Old Testament, there's a lot of that. People who pop off at the mouth, compare themselves to God, claim God's work, and then bad things happen to them. So it's part of the culture, is what I'm saying. Like baked into their stories. Because remember, the Torah, the Old Testament for us, the Torah from them, are their stories. Jesus was a Jew. Christianity didn't exist. He would have been worshiping himself, and usually we refer to that as egotistical narcissism. Jesus doesn't worship himself, he worships God. He's the Messiah. He worships his Father, and we worship his Father through him by following what he said. That's the idea. By living our life the way he says we should live our life is really the idea. At daybreak, verse 42, at daybreak Jesus went out to a solitary place. The people were looking for him, And when they came to where he was, they tried to keep him from leaving them. But he said, I must preach the good news of the kingdom of God to the other towns also, because that is why I was sent. And he kept on preaching in the synagogues of Judea, or in the land of the Jews. In some manuscripts, Galilee. It's a lot of different variations. I would say the land of the Jews is probably most accurate. So, that made a kind of dramatic thing happen, didn't it? I lost some backlighting there. So, until a few minutes from now, friends, in the book of Revelations. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the Niv. We are in Psalms, Book 2, Psalm 65. For the director of music, a Psalm of David, a song. Praise awaits you, O God, in Zion. To you our vows will be fulfilled. You who hear prayer, to you all men will come. When we were overwhelmed by sins, you forgave our transgressions. Blessed are those you choose and bring near to live in your courts. We are filled with good things of your house, of your holy temple. You answer us with awesome deeds of righteousness. God, our Savior, the hope of all of the ends of the earth and of the farthest seas, who formed the mountains by your power, having armed yourself with strength, who stilled the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the turmoil of the nations. Those living far away fear your wonders. Where morning dawns and evening fades, you call forth songs of joy. You care for the land and water it. You enrich it abundantly. The streams of God are filled with water to provide the people with grain. For so you have ordained it. You drench its furrows and level its ridges. You soften it with showers and bless it with crops. You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance. The grassland of the desert overflow. The hills are clothed with gladness. The meadows are covered with flocks, and the valleys are mantled with grain. They shout for joy and sing. What a wonderful place to think of.